Hello. How are you? Welcome to class number 40. Esta página no me obedece. Aquí no hay problema. Now we're on page 64. Okay. I think it's a la tercera irá la vencida. Eso dice aquí. Third time the lucky, dicen los británicos. Third time charm. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? Volvemos a nuestros amigos, los Barghini. The Barghini family. Yes, sir. Why? ¿Por qué? Why? Porque the Saxon genitive, genitivo sajón. Ana is Roberto's sister, and Roberto is Anna's brother. Ana is Luigi's daughter. Yeah, Ana Barghini. Pero está mal escrito, es con doble N. Ana es con N doble aquí en italiano. Ana is Luigi's daughter. Luigi is Anna's father. Anna is Sophia's daughter, and Sophia is Anna's mother. Now, Roberto and Anna are Giovanni's grandchildren. Yes, and Giovanni is their grandfather. He's Anna's and Roberto's grandfather. He's their grandfather. They're his grandchildren. Aquí he dicho dos veces el sonido fonético there. Lo hemos visto antes, pero lo repito, there. Pero son dos there's diferentes aquí. Escuchemos otra vez. Okay, let's see. Anna and Roberto are Giovanni's grandchildren. He's their grandfather. Él es su abuelo, su de ellos. Their, escrito de ir, pronunciado, ojo, there. There. Now, ellos son sus nietos. They are, contracción, their. Suena igual que su de ellos. They're his grandchildren. Fabio is their cousin. And Fabio is Margarita's baby boy, son. Fabio is Margarita and Mario's son. He's their son. Yes. He's Margarita's son and he's Mario's son. So he's their son. They are his parents. They're his parents. He's Sandro's nephew. And Sandro is his uncle. So he's his. Los hispanohablantes tienen problema con he's his. Primero aspirando a la H como una J española. Como Gijón, la gente, he's his son. No. Trata de aspirar la H como para en el espejo. He's. Los caribeños lo dicen en español. El ritmo joven, los jóvenes. Suena precioso para mí. Los jóvenes de Gijón. Los jóvenes de Gijón. Different. Pero entonces es un poco como la J caribeña, de cubana o puertorriqueña o dominicana. Fabio, yeah, he's his. Hoy es como bajo de his. Vivo in Vigo. He's his son. And he's his uncle. Yes. Carla is Fabio's, con apóstrofe S. Carla is Fabio's aunt. She's his aunt. He's her nephew. And Paola is Margarita's niece. Margarita is her aunt. She's her aunt. And she's her niece. Niece and nephew. Sobrina, sobrino. Niece and nephew, cousin es independiente, es hombre o mujer. Cousin, primo o prima. Cousin, cousin. Uncle, uncle, tío, uncle. No lo confundas con tobillos, es ankle. Yeah, el tobillo de mi tío. My uncle's ankle. What's the first letter in the alphabet? A. Tobillo, A, ankle. Como angry, enfadado. A. What's the first letter in the alphabet? A, angry. Angry ankle. Tengo un tobillo enfadado. I have an angry ankle. Y tengo un tío enfadado. I have an angry uncle. Bajamos. Uncle. Ankle, uncle. ¿Lo oyes? A. Okay. So, seguiremos con la familia. Other days, constantly. Yes. Marta's camera. That's Marta's camera. That's Marta's camera too. There are three cameras here. The main camera, that's Marta's camera. That's Marta's camera too. And over there, on the small table, that's Marta's camera too. But these are my pencils. They're not Marta's. This is my cup. It's not Marta's cup. It's my cup. This is my guitar, eh? It's not Marta's guitar. It's not your guitar, eh? It's not her guitar. It's not Marta's guitar. It's my guitar. And this is my microphone. Yes, this is my microphone. It's not her microphone. Her. Británicos dirían, it's not her microphone. En ambos casos, her. No her. Her es pelo. Hair. A veces siempre, bueno, a veces no, casi siempre me dicen, her book, pelo libro o su libro de ella. Eh? So this is my microphone. It's not Marta's microphone. These are, oh, que pesan, ¿eh? Hay mucho inglés aquí. These are my books. Aquí están, cómpralos para seguirme mejor. These are my books. They're not Marta's. Puedo decir Marta's y ahí paro. Eso lo enseñaré más tarde. Estos son mis libros, no son los de Marta, o no son de Marta. They're not Marta's. Se entiende books. No que tengo que repetir la palabra books. Escucha. These are my books. They're not Marta's. They are, there, contracción, there. Insisto siempre en esto para mentalizarte. They're not Marta's. Yes. And they're very good books. Eh? El pequeño arriba. All right. These are my books. They're on the table. There are 4 books on the table. These three, and this one. There are 4 books on the table. These 3 on my left, and this one in front of me. This one is this. It's the same book. This book. I'm on page 65. 65. 65. Yeah. It's a good book. This is the first page, and this is the last page. And this is the first day of the rest of your life. Sí, y de la mía también. O es el primer día del resto de nuestra vida. ¿Qué vamos a hacer con lo que nos queda de vida? Tú, inglés, yo, ya veré. Okay, the rest. Okay, so, how many, how much? Some, any. Hay un coche delante de mi casa. There's a car in front of my house. Hay coches delante de mi casa. There are some cars. Siempre metimos algunos. There are some cars in front of my house. No hay ningún coche delante de mi casa. There isn't a car. Si voy a lo singular, no hay coche, o no hay un coche delante de mi casa. There isn't a car in front of my house. No hay coches, pluralizo ahora. No hay coches delante de mi casa. There aren't any cars in front of my house. There isn't a car. Si no hay ningún coche, ninguno delante de mi casa, pues ahí tengo 2 opciones. No hay un coche. There isn't a car in front of my house, plural. There aren't any cars. Sí, más un segundo creo. There aren't any cars. Aren't. Recordando que aren't. Are not, aren't, decís muchos aquí, se dice aren't, es una sola sílaba. Británicos dicen aren't, they're aren't. Como decía ayer, en la focus en el tho dicen aren't. Ellos sí saben hacer la contracción. Las focas en el zoo. Ok, y supongo que en el océano también saben conjugar muy bien. Are not, aren't. There aren't. Digo tonterías para que se os quede, o que se te quede. Si no he visto algunas de estas cosas de un poco de humor o de tonterías, el inglés se hace más pesado, más cuesta arriba. Entonces, y también es una técnica, ¿se dice memotécnica? Para que se te quede. There aren't any cars in front of my house. No hay queso en Uruguay. No. Está prohibido comer queso en Uruguay. No. Yes. There isn't any cheese in Uruguay. Uruguay. ¿Estás diciendo que yo soy un güey? Has dicho Uruguay. No, the country, Uruguay. Ah, Uruguay. Yes. But suena igual que you are. You're. Por ejemplo, cuando dices, tú eres europeo. You're European. You're European. You're Uruguayan. ¿Eh? Tú eres uruguayo. Suena igual. You're Uruguayan. Uruguay. There isn't any cheese in Uruguay. No, there isn't any cheese in Uruguay. También se prohíben los lápices ahí. No. Still, there aren't any pencils in Uruguay. No. There isn't any cheese, there aren't any pencils. There isn't any cheese and there aren't any pencils. Y no hay capital. No hay capitalidad. El concepto de la capitalidad de una ciudad no hay en Uruguay. There isn't any cheese, there aren't any pencils, and there isn't a capital. Entonces tenemos las tres formas. En el negativo en este caso. Con any para incontables, any para contables. Plural. There isn't a capital in Uruguay. Montevideo, no, ya está prohibido. There isn't a capital. There isn't any cheese. And there aren't any pencils. ¿Cómo se puede vivir el hombre sin lápices y sin queso? Yeah. De pan no puede vivir solo tampoco. Okay, dicen. All right, so, there isn't any. Al revés, afirmativo. Hay capital en Uruguay, hay lápices y hay queso, pero en su justa medida. There is a capital in Uruguay, Montevideo. There's some cheese. How much? I don't know, but there's some cheese. And there are some pencils. Yo creo que 4 millones es 3 o 4 millones. 3 or 4 million people. There are 3 or 4 million people in Uruguay, I think. Homework. Deberes, más deberes. How many people are there in Uruguay? There are, I think, 3 or 4 million. It's small in population. How many people are there in Argentina? There are 40 million, I think. Luego puedes comprobar. Esta noche comprueba. Richard, a ver si acierta. There are 49 or 50 million people in Colombia. Yes. And the capital of Colombia is Bogotá. Yes. Are there any big cities in Colombia? Well, in Bogotá. Are there any big cities in Colombia besides Bogotá? Yes, there are. You have Medellín, you have Barranquilla, you have Cartagena, you have Cali, and you have Bucaramanga. Yes, there are a lot of big cities in Colombia. And how many people are there? I think there are about or around 50 million, 49 million, 48, more than in Spain. How many people are there in Portugal? I think there are 11 million people in Portugal. I'm not sure. How many people are there in Germany? In Germany, how many people are there? There are 80 million people in Germany. How many people are there in China? There are 1.4 billion. 1.4 billion. 1.4 mil millones. There are 1.4 billion. Fíjate de nuevo, digo 1.4 billón. personas, no billones de personas, o 1,000,000,000 de personas. Hay 3 millones o 4 millones de personas en Uruguay. There are 4 million people, 4,000 people, 4,000 personas o habitantes, 4,000 habitantes, 4 millones de habitantes. Igual, en inglés, no cambiamos, en español se cambia. Dice 4,000 habitantes, 4 millones de habitantes. Pero en inglés no cambiamos. 4,000 habitantes, 4 millones de habitantes, 4 billones de habitantes, etc. So there are 1.4 billion people in China. How many people are there? How many people are there in India? There are 1.3 billion people in India. It's very big. How many people are there? How many people are there? How many people are there in, I don't know, how many people are there in Burgos? Burgos capital or Burgos province? Burgos capital. I don't know. I think there are 40,000 people in Burgos. But I'm guessing. All right, how many? How much? How much water is there in the Pacific Ocean? I don't know. But there is a lot of water. Is there any water in the Segura River now? In the Rio Segura? Now? January? Yes. There's some water in the Segura. Además, es agua del Tajo, del Transvase Tajo Segura. Yeah, there's a lot of water in the Segura. Is there any water in the Mar Menor in Murcia? Yes, there's a lot of water in the Mar Menor. Is there any water on Jupiter, the planet? I don't know. I don't know. Probably there's some water on Jupiter. H2O, H2O. Probably there's some water on Jupiter. Is there any water on the moon? I think there is. On the dark side, the other side of the moon, yes, there's some water in form of the yellow. Is there any water on the sun? Is there any water on the sun? No, there isn't any water on the sun. It's too hot. Is there any water on Mercury? Mercurio. Cure. Fíjate en la pronunciación. No me digas Mercury. Mercury. Un británico Mercury. Americano Mercury. Cure. Como una cura. De curar. Mercury. No, there isn't any water on Mercury. Is there any water on the table? No, there isn't any water on the table. Is there any water on the floor? No, there isn't any water on the floor. Is there any milk in your refrigerator? Yes, there is some milk in my refrigerator. Is there any? Yes, there's some. Ya estamos con lo que llamamos incontables, o sea, cosas que no son unitarias. Masa. All right. Are there any telephones on the table? Yes, there's one telephone. This one. There's one telephone on the table. Are there any pictures on the table? Yes. There are a lot of pictures on the table. Our friends. Philip Johnson, yeah. Yes. There are a lot of people. The Barghini family. There are a lot of pictures on the table. Are there any mirrors in this studio? Yes, there's one mirror in this studio over there on the wall, on my right, over there. Recuerda, cuando hay referencia visual decimos over there, over here. Si Marta me pregunta si hay un teléfono, digo over here. Ella no lo ve porque estás, ni tú, estás detrás de esos libros, escondido, my telephone, para que vea mensajes durante el programa. ¿Eh? Marta dice, no toques el micrófono, no toques la nariz, etc. She says these things. Es muy mandona. She's very bossy. Marta's very bossy. ¿A qué sí? Aren't you bossy? Oh, yeah, she's a little bossy. Bueno, tiene su punto. She's a little bit bossy. All right. So, how many objects are there? How many objects are there on this table? Quite a few, muchos, bastantes. Books, telephone, there's a microphone, there's a cup, there's some pencils, there's a guitar, there are some pictures. There is a microphone, there are some pictures. There's a cup, There are some pencils. There's a guitar. There are some books. And there's a telephone. Some. Estos son cosas contables ya, todos. Queso no hay. There isn't any cheese. But there's some air. Hay algo de oxígeno. Yes, en el ambiente. There's some oxygen in this room. Yes, for me and Marta. For the cameras, no. The cameras don't need oxygen. But there's some oxygen for Marta and for me. For me, for her, for me, for him, for her, for them, for us. For her. Para ella. No, es él. Ella está ahí. All right. For her, for him, for me. Para mí, para él. Para mí. Es curioso en español. Si dices para él, habría que decir para yo. Él y yo son pronombres personales. En inglés mantenemos los pronombres complementos. En italiano, per lei. Yeah, por lei, por me, por mí, por ti, for you, for me. T, one for you, and one for me, and me for you, for them, for him, for her, for me, for us, mi amigo. Philip Johnson, my friend from Nebraska. Yes, he's a banker. ¿Es banquero o es bancario? Aquí se dice bancario para empleado de banca. Banquero para los ricachones. ¿Eh? Es director general de un banco de Nebraska. Digamos banquero. Banker, okay? He's a banker. He's an intelligent man. He's 39 years old. And he's from Lincoln, Nebraska. And he's in Lincoln, Nebraska now. His wife is in Nebraska too. His wife is an interior decorator. His wife's name is Nancy. My name is Richard. Her name is Marta. His name is Philip. And his wife's name is Nancy. His son's name is Michael Johnson, and his daughter's name is Denise Johnson. So, Philip's daughter is Denise. Philip's wife is Nancy. Philip's son is Michael. And Philip's friend is me, c'est moi. Como se dice en francés, soy yo, diríais aquí. Su amigo soy yo. En inglés no, su amiga es mí, como en francés. Son ami, c'est moi. So, his friend is me. Philip's friend is me. Philip's wife is Nancy. And Nancy is from Kansas. She's not from Nebraska. Nancy is from a small town in Kansas. And what's the name of the town? In Kansas, Nancy, it's Coffeyville. Coffeyville, Villa del Café? No. Coffeyville, not exactly. The spelling of coffee, ortografía, the spelling of coffee is different. Es un apellido, Señor Coffee. Mr. Coffee, como Señor de Olid, del Valle del Señor Olid es Valladolid. ¿Eh? De ahí vienen las cosas sometimes. Okay, so, am I sitting or standing? I'm sitting. Am I sitting in front of you or behind you? I'm sitting in front of you. Am I speaking English or Spanish? I'm speaking English. Am I speaking to you or to Marta? I'm speaking to you. Am I looking at you or at Marta? I'm looking at you. And now? Am I looking at you or at Marta? I'm looking at Marta. Sonríe. She's smiling. Are you taking an English class or a Spanish class? You're taking an English class. Are you sitting or standing? You're sitting. Te veo, estás sentado. You're sitting. Are you looking at me or at the buildings? You're looking at the buildings, eh? Yeah. Hey, look at me. Now you're looking at me. Now you're looking at me. Are you holding the book? You're not? Am I holding the book? Yes, I am. Which hand am I holding the book with? You're holding the book with both hands. Tell me to put the book on the table. Richard, yes? Put the book on the table. Monday, put the book on the table. Excuse me? Put the book on the table. Okay, okay. What am I doing? You're putting the book on the table. Tell me to turn the page. Tell me to turn the page. Richard, turn the page, please. This page or this page? The subsequent page. This page. Okay. What am I doing? You're turning the page. Unidad 8, Unit 8. ¿Empezamos mañana con esto? Ya veremos. ¿Por qué no? Okay. See you in the next class.